Good morning, moms. So, today I want to talk about a mindset shift that I made for myself a couple years ago around exercise that has actually been extremely helpful at helping me to move my body more. So, before I became a mom, I actually grew up as a cheerleader, so I was like super active. And when I was in chiropractic school, I got deep into yoga. And I used to go to a lot of yoga classes, and then I did a yoga teacher training, and just was all very used to moving my body. And then I became a mom, and it literally time evaporated. And the ideas that I had around exercise and the preconceived notions that I had about what exercise should look like really had to shift in motherhood. So I used to think about exercise like I had to have an hour of time, right? I had to have an hour of time. I had very rigid thoughts about what exercise should look like. So I didn't often exercise after motherhood. And I kind of think a lot of us probably have these preconceived notions about exercise and what it should look like. And when you get into motherhood, it just has to look different. Like things have to evolve and change because you evolve and change. So they have to look different. So I actually made a mindset shift a couple of years ago. And instead of thinking about exercise, what I tried to focus on was body movements. Like how can I incorporate moving my body instead of thinking about specific exercise? So I kind of think like exercise is so 1900s, like get on the movement train because that's what's really important in the 2000s, okay? So I really just started to think about moving my body instead of having ideas that I was going to plan to exercise for like this amount of time. So really shifting my mindset to more movement in my day has been incredible. I just have been able to move my body different ways. And I think motherhood requires us to tap into more functional movements. So, yeah, so why is it important to move your body every day? Stress. Stress tends to manifest in our bodies and it gets stuck. And we really can feel bogged down. We can feel lots of physical, like mom pains, right? Like neck, shoulder, back stuff. Our low back can hurt. And really, movement can help us move this out of our body, right? So sometimes if you have only 10 minutes, doing some simple stretches or some very basic strengthening or mobility exercises can just make a huge difference throughout your day. Exercise is going to increase endorphins and lower cortisol. So it's going to help us get out of that stress response. And when we increase our endorphins, it's really going to make us feel good. It's going to make us feel better. It's going to make us happier moms. And we need to do these things for ourselves. We need to connect to our body because the more disconnected we are from our body, the unhappier and the more stressed we become, right? And our kids really, really want us to be happy, right? That happiness should be a priority for us. Moving our body helps us stay healthy. It helps keep us healthy. It helps us to just feel good inside. And I think when we feel better as moms, we can be better moms. So those are like my big whys on why you should move your body. I want to go over some of my favorite movements. Like what does a movement practice look like for me? And I'm happy to share more of this in video and just in conversation on here. So some of my, some simple ways you can add movement into your day, climbing the stairs, right? You have stairs at your house, you have stairs at work, like just simply taking the stairs can make a big difference. Foam rolling, I love to foam roll. I am going to be teaching some foam rolling in the spring. And foam rolling is a way that you can work stress throughout the body and really like move this stress throughout your body. I love foam rolling. It's one of my favorite ways to care for myself when I'm home. Yoga, a huge yoga fan. I love yoga. I used to think that I had to be on my mat for an hour. It had to be like a very specific class. Sometimes just moving through some down dogs, hands and knees, cat-cow, just some very gentle stretches for 10 minutes, that can make a huge difference in how your body feels. Cardio. I love to walk my neighborhood. I'm a huge hiker. I love to get out in nature. I think moving our bodies in nature can be very restorative. Dancing is another big one for me. Sometimes I'll just put some music on in the house and dance around. So dancing throughout your house can be amazing. I have these, it was actually recommended by a physical therapist friend of mine. I got hurt last year in a car accident, and he had me get some TRX straps. And I have some specific exercises that I do with the TRX straps. Free weights, kettlebells, running. I'm not a big runner, but some people love that. Hiking, I said that. Playing chase with your kids, like tag in the yard. I think some things that are very important is finding out what resonates with your body. Like, I'm not a big runner, but if you like to run, that's what you need to do. You have to find what fits for your lifestyle. The other thing is that you have to schedule it. Like you have to schedule days. You have to schedule days and times where you're going to have times to create body movements. Another body movement that I love is like literally just arm circles, neck circles, shoulders, hips, like just like circling the body, doing some very simple mobility stuff. So scheduling it is super important, because if you don't get it on the schedule, if you don't make it a priority, it gets eaten up by your day. Like your kids need things, your husband, your work, like your life just needs other things. So if you don't take the time for it, if you don't put it in your schedule, it's not going to happen. So for me, a typical schedule looks like Monday mornings. I have it scheduled Monday mornings, Tuesday mornings or Tuesday afternoons. Wednesday is actually an off day for me because I have a very busy Wednesday. So I just don't really plan anything. If I can get something in, I do, but I kind of consider Wednesday a rest day for me. Thursday is an off day, so I'm not in the office, so I try to do something either Thursday mornings or Thursday afternoons. It just depends what my specific day looks like. Friday afternoons after work, I like to do either a neighborhood walk or a hike. And then weekends, I definitely do stuff on the weekends because I have family time. So we'll do like family hikes, or I'll have some time since my husband is home to really get on my mat, do some yoga, do some foam rolling. Sometimes I combine yoga and strength training. Using small weights has been very helpful. And I find that adding movement to my day, adding movement to my life helps with the body aches that we all experience as moms. And it just really helps us to keep going. You have your greatest wealth is your health. So if you're not caring for yourself, who's going to do it, right? You got to schedule that in. There's another thing about movement is that there's really 3 components to movement that most people don't realize. So you have flexibility, you have cardio fitness, and then you have strength. So I would say men's weakness is flexibility. So men usually tend to stick to a lot of strength training and a lot of cardio, but not flexibility. Women, I think our weakness tends to be strength. So we usually have the cardio and the flexibility, but we don't often do enough strength training. So it's just kind of something to think about. Adding some light weights, adding some body weighted movement to your movement routine can be beneficial. And totally forgot that thought because that's my mom brain. But I'm going to share some Instagram accounts later that I really like to follow that have been inspiring and have helped me just add some different movements into my routine. And coming this spring, I'm working on a movement series for moms. It's called Motherhood on the Mat. And it's going to include some of my favorite body movements. It's going to be taught by myself and my all-time favorite yoga instructor friend, Natalie Leach. And we are going to be combining all of the aspects of fitness. So we're going to be combining some strength, a little bit of cardio, and a little bit of flexibility. And we're just going to show you ways that you can move throughout your body in motherhood to help your body to feel better. So to recap, instead of thinking about exercising, I want you to think about moving your body. How can you incorporate small movements into your daily routine? For me, it's been a huge shift in motherhood because exercise just looks different after you have kids. So get on the movement bandwagon and move your body more. Thank you for tuning in. If you have friends who you think would benefit from the information that I share in this group, please add them. And again, coming soon in the spring, Motherhood on the Mat. So we're going to go through a whole movement series on how you can move your body more. Have a great Wednesday, ladies. Thank you.